Hey, what's going on YouTube? Today is going to be a more novice topic. We're going to go over proof of work or POW. So let's just get right into it. Now, a lot of people who are new to the space don't quite understand what a Bitcoin is, and that'll be for a later video. But they also don't understand how a Bitcoin is created. And a lot of people hear the term mining and they think you are literally going out in your backyard and you're digging up a freaking Bitcoin. And that's just not the way it works. And this is the internet age, right? Obviously, this guy's on a computer. That's why I chose this image. But back in the 1930s or whenever the freaking gold rush was, yeah, you're going to go out and you're going to go to San Francisco, you're going to go to somewhere in California and you're going to mine for gold. But that is not the same thing as mining for Bitcoin, okay? It's a little bit different. It's got its similarities. You are trying to solve a problem. Where is the most gold rich ground? You're trying to find the most gold so you can make the most money. Now, it's the same thing with Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies that use the proof of work algorithms, but with Bitcoin, instead of mining, like physically mining, what you're doing is you're sort of solving a problem, an internet problem. And what that problem is and what it consists of is you're facilitating transactions. So anytime somebody on the Bitcoin network transfers a Bitcoin to somebody else on the Bitcoin network, somebody has to facilitate that transaction. So let's bring it back a step. If you look at how you would normally transfer your money, maybe it's PayPal, maybe it's Venmo, maybe it's through like Chase Pay or Wells Fargo. What you would normally do is you would just send your money and it would end up in your friend's bank account the next day or whatever. Now, you're going through a middleman, which is that bank, whether it's Venmo, you're going through their services, and what they're doing is they're facilitating that transaction and they are taking a transaction fee. And that is why when you transfer stuff with Chase, generally you are only allowed to transfer via Chase Pay from Chase bank account to Chase bank account. If you're going to transfer from Chase to Wells Fargo, they're going to take a fee. Now with Bitcoin, there is no middleman. And I guess there kind of is a middleman because that is this guy right here. Maybe call him John. But he is a miner. And what he is doing is he's going out and he is looking for all of these transactions on the blockchain. Now, if you don't understand what a blockchain is, just for very, very basic purposes, think of it as like a giant Excel sheet with all of the transactions that have ever existed in the Bitcoin atmosphere, right? Like just think of it that way. Any transaction that has ever happened within Bitcoin is on the blockchain. And now John is going out and looking for new transactions that are happening. And what he can do is he can start to facilitate these transactions for the users. And the way I like to look at it is kind of like a lock. So it's very difficult to guess the combination to this lock because there's a lot of different combinations and you'd have to go through and you'd have to spend a lot of time, maybe a lot of resources to figure out what the combination is. But once you figure it out, you open the lock, obviously. Now, the same thing happens with a miner. What they're doing is they're using their computer power and they're going out and they're facilitating these transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain. And once they have facilitated a transaction, and that costs him time and energy, and obviously energy costs money. And so when he facilitates that transaction, he is getting rewarded with a piece of Bitcoin. And it's not a full Bitcoin, so don't think he's getting like 14 grand every time he freaking does one transaction. He's getting a percentage of a Bitcoin. And that is to help him because he's obviously using his own time and money, like I said, for doing these transactions. And that's what mining is. Anytime, like anybody could do it with their computers, whether or not it's profitable is for a new video, but that is what proof of work is. You're basically solving a problem for other people and you're being rewarded. And that's as simple as that. So in the next video, I'm going to go over proof of stake and I'm just going to give a very dumbed down version of that as well. And there's a lot more to proof of work than what I just covered. It's super, super basic, dumbed down. But if you have any questions, leave them below in the comments. If you want more in-depth analysis or whatever, maybe I could do another more in-depth video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I know I got like 0 subscribers right now, but subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up button, share this video if you can. I just enjoy doing these, so I'd love to hear your guys' comments and thoughts. So with that, I'll see you in the next